Joining us now on SSPTV News, we have Nevin Balliet. He is the owner of Northeast Hearing Solutions. Nevin, thank you for being on the program today.
Hi, Janine. Thank you for having me.
COVID has affected all of our lives in one way or another, and that certainly plays a role with the hearing impaired, and you know a lot about that. That is your expertise. So talk to us a little bit about how COVID-19 has impacted the hearing impaired throughout the area.
Well, boy, I'll tell you, I have not run into one single person that has not been impacted by the pandemic in some way or another. It's affected all of us socially, financially, you name it. Everybody that you speak to has been impacted by by the pandemic in some way or another. But I would say, Jane, the biggest thing that I see with the hearing impaired community is that the social isolation never stops. And what I mean by that is if we can hear, we go outside of our house and we can yell across the street to our neighbors. We have a little bit of social interaction. Sometimes you run into a friend or family member at the grocery store or something like that. And it's a little break in the monotony. It's, if you haven't seen them in a while, it's nice to stop and have a little conversation. As human beings, we're social creatures. You want to, not only want, but you need to have that social interaction in your life. If you can't hear correctly, you can't have a conversation with your neighbor without that closeness. From a social distance, if you're 6, 8, 10 feet apart, sometimes having a conversation across the road is impossible. Or running into somebody in the supermarket, now everybody has, the mask on. It muffles the sound. You can't see the lips and the facial movements. So our hearing impaired are really having a lot of difficulty coping.
What are some of the steps that you are taking at Northeast Hearing Solutions to ensure health, the safety of your patients and those who are hearing impaired?
Our primary concern is the safety of our patients and our staff. So, first of all, we went through the entire schedule and revamped the entire schedule, doubling the appointment times so that we have extra time and extra space in between our patients. So we'll never have more than one patient in the office at a time. We're doing a very rigorous sanitization protocol in between each patient, and that's everything from clipboards to pens to doorknobs to anything. All of our high-touch surfaces are sanitized in between each patient, and really doing everything that we can to provide a clean, safe environment. Right down to, getting rid of, when you go into a doctor's office, you expect to see reading material and magazines. We've got rid of all of that stuff temporarily.
What are some innovations in the hearing industry to help people cope with the pandemic restrictions?
So one of the things that I love is they've come out with what they call mask mode. So we were just talking about, everywhere you go, the mask is required. And you had mentioned even with normal hearing, sometimes it's difficult hearing through that mask. So what mask mode is something on your smartphone. You can press a little button. It looks like a guy wearing a mask, and it's kind of like a turbo mode. So it'll give a temporary boost for that conversation so that the hearing aid wearer can hear comfortably in that conversation.
It's remarkable what technology has done for this pandemic as far as assisting in different industries like the hearing impaired. I know we've done many interviews with you. You have always been on top of the latest technology and even from the fittings of your hearing aids.
There's one more thing that's really exciting that I wanted to mention. You hear telecare with a lot of medicine, and we've had a little bit of telecare here and there, but IT has really gotten on top of things during the pandemic. And now we have the availability to do really a full exam and full adjustment anywhere in the world through any type of smart device. So if a patient has a an iPhone or Samsung or an iPad, anything like that, if we can connect the hearing aids to the device and to an internet connection, we can do a virtual meeting and adjustment almost anywhere in the world. And that is really a big advancement in our industry.
Today's news feature is brought to you by Frankie's Pizzeria, located at 3739 Wyoming Street in Hazleton. Every Friday night is all-you-can-eat crab legs from 5 until 8 p.m. Reservations are suggested. You can call 570-454-6000 to make a reservation or for more information.